What could drive a god to defy the king of all gods, knowing the wrath that would follow? The legend of Prometheus begins with a bold and dangerous act that altered the course of human history forever. In a time when mortals lived in ignorance, bound to the darkness of the world, one titan took a stand for humanity. Prometheus, known for his wisdom and compassion, made a fateful decision: to steal fire from the gods and gift it to mankind. This was no mere act of theft, it was a direct challenge to Zeus, the all-powerful ruler of Mount Olympus. Prometheus's actions were a symbol of rebellion, a defiance against the very structure of divine rule that kept humanity subjugated. Fire, in this myth, represents far more than a flickering flame. It symbolizes enlightenment, progress, and the empowerment of humankind to shape their own destiny. Prometheus knew that by granting mortals this gift, they would gain the ability to build civilizations, harness the forces of nature, and rise from the shackles of ignorance. His defiance was not rooted in malice, but in a profound belief that knowledge should not be reserved for the gods alone. This legendary act of rebellion was, at its core, a sacrifice for the greater good, a stand against tyranny, and a bold assertion that power and knowledge belong to all. What happens when a god dares to give mortals the gift of fire, the very essence of progress and survival? In the ancient world, fire wasn't just a source of warmth and light. It symbolized knowledge, creativity, and the spark that ignited the birth of civilization itself. But Zeus, the king of the gods, had forbidden humans from accessing this sacred power. In his view, fire was too dangerous, too powerful for mortals to wield. Without it, humanity was condemned to live in darkness, ignorance, and despair, forever dependent on the whims of the gods. But Prometheus, a titan renowned for his wisdom and deep compassion for humanity, could not bear to watch the suffering of mankind. He saw their potential, their capacity for growth, for innovation, for greatness. And so, Prometheus made a decision that would forever alter the fate of both gods and men. Defying Zeus, he climbed Mount Olympus, and in an act of defiance, he stole fire from the divine realm, bringing it down to earth. With this sacred flame, mortals could now forge tools, cook food, and shape the world around them. This fire wasn't just a gift, it was a revolution. Humanity, once shackled by ignorance, could now control its destiny. But Prometheus' act of compassion came at an unimaginable cost, one that would see him endure an eternity of torment. How could one act of defiance change the entire balance of power between gods and men? Prometheus's theft of fire wasn't simply about giving humanity warmth or light. It was the dawn of enlightenment, progress, and the rise of civilization. This stolen flame symbolized far more than its physical presence. It was the spark that ignited humanity's potential to control their fate. For the first time, mortals no longer relied on the gods for survival. They could now build, create, and advance on their own terms. This shift in power deeply threatened Zeus, the all-powerful king of the gods, who had kept such gifts out of reach to maintain the divine hierarchy. Prometheus's disobedience wasn't just about fire. It was an assault on the very structure of divine control. Zeus's rage wasn't born from the act alone, but from what it represented: freedom, autonomy, and the knowledge that humans no longer needed to live in darkness, both literally and metaphorically. Prometheus knew the consequences of his actions, yet still he chose to rebel. He believed that the greater good, empowering humanity, was worth the risk. But why did he, a titan, choose to challenge the will of the most powerful god? What deeper truths and convictions drove him to risk everything and stand as a symbol of defiance against tyranny? The story of Prometheus unveils the powerful impact one rebellious act can have, with shaking the foundations of divine authority and reshaping the fate of mankind forever. What was the true cost of Prometheus's defiance? The wrath of Zeus was both swift and unforgiving. Prometheus's bold act of rebellion had not only enraged the king of the gods, but also triggered a punishment as eternal as the fire he had gifted to humanity. Zeus, determined to make an example of him, devised a torment unlike any other. Prometheus was taken to the desolate peaks of a remote mountain and bound to a rock. Each day, an eagle, Zeus's emblem of dominance, descended to tear into Prometheus' liver, devouring it in a horrifying display of divine vengeance. By nightfall, the liver would regenerate, only for the cycle of suffering to begin again the following day. This endless torment was not just physical agony, but also a symbol of Zeus's absolute control over both gods and men. Prometheus's suffering became a haunting reminder that defying the will of the gods came at a terrible price. His defiance was more than a personal rebellion. It represented the ultimate battle against tyranny, a clash between the freedom to advance civilization and the oppressive rule of divine authority. The legend of Prometheus reveals that the cost of enlightenment and progress often comes with immense sacrifice, and that those who challenge power must be prepared to endure unimaginable trials in their pursuit of the greater good. What does it truly take to endure endless, unimaginable suffering? And why did Prometheus, a titan bound to a rock, never beg for mercy or seek forgiveness from Zeus? Each day, as an eagle feasted on his regenerating liver, Prometheus bore a pain beyond comprehension. Yet, despite the agonizing torture, his spirit remained unbroken. The key to understanding this lies in the untold truth of his sacrifice. Prometheus did not view his punishment as the consequence of a crime, but rather as a necessary act for the greater good of humanity. He had defied Zeus not for personal gain, but to give mankind the gift of fire, symbolizing knowledge, progress, and the ability to shape their own destiny. Prometheus' eternal torment became a powerful symbol of resilience and endurance. It was a message not just to the gods but to mortals that knowledge, freedom, and progress were worth any price, even endless suffering. His defiance was a reminder that the pursuit of enlightenment and the betterment of humanity cannot be suppressed. Each day of his suffering only solidified his heroism, proving that even in the face of overwhelming torment, Prometheus stood as a champion of humanity's right to control its own fate. His refusal to yield to Zeus underscored his legacy as one of the greatest symbols of rebellion, sacrifice, and unwavering strength. How did the suffering of one titan lead to humanity's ultimate victory? The climax of Prometheus' story goes far beyond his personal suffering. It symbolizes the transformative power of his sacrifice for the greater good. As Prometheus endured endless torment, chained to a rock with an eagle tearing at his liver day after day, something remarkable was unfolding on Earth. Humanity, once shrouded in darkness and ignorance, was evolving. The fire Prometheus had given them became more than just a physical flame. It unlocked the potential for progress, igniting the birth of civilization itself. With fire came warmth, light, the ability to cook food, and the forging of tools and weapons. Mortals were no longer helpless. They were learning, adapting, and building their own futures. Prometheus' defiance wasn't just an act of rebellion against Zeus, but a rejection of the belief that humans should remain in perpetual servitude to the gods. He saw the potential for greatness in mankind and gave them the ultimate gift, knowledge and empowerment. His actions sparked a quiet revolution, one that would echo through the ages. Even though Prometheus remained bound in chains, his suffering paled in comparison to the eternal legacy he left behind. His gift of fire lit the path for humanity to overcome ignorance, fear, and dependency, ensuring that knowledge, progress, and enlightenment would forever be in their hands. Though Prometheus remained chained to the rock, enduring the agonizing torment day after day, his defiant act of rebellion echoed through both the mortal and divine realms. The fire he had gifted to humanity sparked more than just physical flames. It ignited progress, creativity, and the potential for human civilization to thrive. While Prometheus' suffering continued, the world above was forever changed. Mortals grew stronger, wiser, and more independent, thanks to the knowledge he had sacrificed everything to deliver. But Prometheus' personal torment seemed endless, as Zeus sought to make an example of him, proving that defying the gods would come at a heavy price. That is, until Heracles, known for his immense strength and courage, took on the heroic task of freeing Prometheus. Heracles' intervention was not just an act of physical liberation. It symbolized the triumph of human resilience and the unstoppable thirst for knowledge and freedom. No matter how brutal the punishment, Prometheus' gift could not be undone. The untold truth of Prometheus' story is that his chains, though meant to suppress his rebellion, became a symbol of enduring defiance. His punishment may have been harsh, but it could never extinguish the power of progress he had set into motion. Not even the wrath of Zeus could contain the fire of human potential. The legend of Prometheus is much more than a tale of defiance. It is a powerful narrative about the transformative nature of knowledge and the immense sacrifices made for the advancement of humanity. When Prometheus stole fire from the gods, he didn't just hand mortals a source of light and warmth. He delivered them the spark of innovation, the very key to progress and civilization. Fire represented power, creativity, and independence, and by giving it to mankind, Prometheus enabled humans to break free from the dependency on the gods, paving the way for them to shape their own destiny. However, Prometheus' actions came with a heavy price. His eternal punishment, being bound to a rock while an eagle feasted on his regenerating liver, was a vivid reminder that true progress is often achieved through immense suffering and sacrifice. His torment underscores a critical lesson, that the pursuit of knowledge, freedom, and advancement is rarely without hardship, but it is always worth the cost. As we reflect on this ancient myth, we see Prometheus not just as a rebellious figure from history, but as a timeless symbol of human resilience and determination. His story is a testament to the enduring power of progress, a reminder that the gift of knowledge is the most precious gift of all, and one worth fighting for, no matter the consequences.